prognosis with Zach for tonight's game?
He's in.
He is in?
Yep, he's ready.
And then what about Torrey? What's Torrey?
He's just been running a fever. He felt better yesterday waking up. He traveled with us, and then this morning for shoot around he just felt sick again. So they kept him back. He'll fly back with us, but just illness.
Oh, he is going to fly. He is here.
He is here.
Okay.
He flew in. Yeah, he left at halftime of the last game.
Okay.
And was having chills and symptoms. So they sent him home, and then he woke up the day we left and he felt much better. But then this morning he woke back up and just same thing.
What do you expect from Zach? I mean, he's not on a minutes restriction, I take it.
I think that for right now they'd like to try to keep him inside of 32.
Okay, so
from a medical standpoint, a little bit. Yeah, I mean it's not 36 4 minutes off. I think probably the length of time too, but they'd like to try to keep him around 32 minutes tonight.
How tough has it been because of the schedule, this home away, and the limited practice time? How tough is it to fix this defense kind of on the fly? I mean, Josh talked to us after the game. Just it's almost 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Where they feel good, they do a good job on Ant for like a couple quarters, and then all of a sudden he just breaks free. How tough is it as a coach for you to fix this thing when there's just
I mean,
time?
You always like to be out there on the court, being able to drill it and work on it. But I give the guys credit coming out of the Dallas game on the front end of the back-to-back. I mean, I was just disappointed with the turnovers and the carelessness there. And then I thought, for the most part, the things that we tried to clean up offensively through film, because it was a back-to-back going into Minnesota, we did a pretty good job. But we're going to have to learn. We talked to the guys about that actually this morning. Like, we're going to have to utilize walkthroughs, shoot-arounds, and film sessions to try to improve. And some of it, for us in the game was, I think, a presence at the rim. Where Gobert's rolling. I think not that we have his size, but we've got to meet him a little bit early, and make it a little bit more difficult for him. I think, to your point, the direction with Edwards in high pick and roll, we did not do a good job on the ball, our presence on the ball. And then I think the third part was just how well we can shift and load and help for each other. We haven't been a high turnover team just because we've got to be in good position, and when we're not in good position, we struggle. And I thought in that game, the positioning as the game wore on, it kind of deteriorated a little bit.
I know Zach came into the season and kind of laid down the law as far as how he wants to handle, any negativity about rumors or any outside noise. Those stories aren't going to go away for him. I mean, they haven't for 2 years, 2.5 years. Has he talked to you about it, or what was said on that first day of media day was all he needed to say, and he really just has kind of put it out of sight, out of mind in your estimation?
I feel, whatever he said at media day. I felt in September when he came back, he was all in. I felt when training camp started, he's been all in. He's, I think, committed to trying to play the way we need to play. I give him credit, because of, Alex being that defender, and even when Lonzo was healthy, he was the other guy. I think he's taken on matchups to the best of his ability, and he's done a really, really good job. I mean, I think he's been all in on everything that we've asked him to do, and I think he's played well too. And I think that's why this injury, and I don't want to call it an injury, but certainly the strain or the discomfort, the tightness. I think him being healthy is when he performs really well, and he's been a guy that's always been inclined to play through injuries and play through stuff that bothers him, and I give him credit that he was smart in this situation to give himself a little bit of time to get back. But in terms of his attitude, all the stuff that may be out there that you're talking about, I have not had a conversation about that. Everything that we've talked about has always been about the season, the team, and what we need from him, and how he can lead.
Last thing for me then, just kind of a broader question. I mean, the injuries, I know load management, and we've talked about this on and off the record, this, the whole thing about what the NBA product's turning into. It just seems like the more these guys are catered to as far as minutes, load management, the more injuries are happening. Is it frustrating as a coach that it just seems you're never right? I mean, even if you go into fall camp and everyone's there, it's just attrition. It's almost becoming like football where you just know you're not going to be right. Is that tough
Yeah, I mean, I think the lack of practice time, I think, with the in-season tournament taking place, there'll be some games here at the end of the month, and then you've got some leeway, but I'd imagine, I haven't looked at everybody's schedule, but I imagine everybody's November is really challenging. I mean, had a back-to-back, and then we'll play every other day, and then after this week's over with, I mean, I think we have 3 back-to-backs, that's hard. I think the one thing that's happening, and everybody keeps talking about the 3-point shots going up, which I don't think people have talked about the pace going up. And I think that's the thing that has been really, really, really hard for guys. And I think when you go back and you look at guys that have played 82 games and all those things, it was maybe different because the physicality was at such a high level, right? But maybe the pace and speed of running up and down wasn't at the same level. But now I think what's happened is you've looked at how much faster teams are playing now. And I think, the back-to-backs, the condensed schedule, I just think it takes a lot out of those guys, and they're never really training in the summer for back-to-backs. Hey, I'm going to use this week as like we've got 4 games in 7 nights, so how I'm going to train that. Guys are not doing that, So I think you are seeing a lot of hamstrings and soft tissue issues throughout the league and guys going out. And I think a lot of it's got to do with the pace of play and how much the game's going up and down the floor.
Coach Josh Giddey last season in OKC, one of his weaknesses was the shot, especially the 3-point shot. But so far this season, he's shooting a career high 40%. And I spoke to him earlier today, and he was talking about the mental approach. What have you seen from him to see when he's out on the court that he really seems to be, taking on that challenge head on? That if guys are going to leave him open, he's going to take that shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've encouraged him to do that. I think players can play around when they have, because listen, he's shooting 40% right now, but I would bet you not only him but every other guy on our team is going to have a bad shooting night. It's not the shooting part. It's going to be like, can he impact the game in other ways? And he's an elite passer. He's got really good size. He rebounds. So to me, if you make shots, that's great, but that comes and goes. And we have confidence in him to shoot the ball. He's worked hard on it, but he's going to have nights where he doesn't shoot it well. And what are the things that he can do that he knows he can rely on night in and night out to impact the outcome of the game?
And just specifically the Orlando Magic game, he hit 4 for 4 that night and 3 really big ones. What sort of impact can that do to his confidence and his teammates' confidence that are like, we know if this guy is available, he's going to take that shot?
Well, he made those. I agree with we were kind of struggling a little bit, and those threes that he made got us back in the game. And to your point, they were huge threes. They changed the momentum of the game. But I do think that once the ball leaves a player's hands, it's out of anybody's control, right? And again, we've got confidence in Josh shooting it. We want him to shoot it. He's worked hard at it. But I still think, from my perspective with him, it's the passing, it's the defense, it's the rebounding, it's the communication, it's running the team. Like, you can rely on those things every single night, and hopefully that relieves pressure of feeling, okay, I got to make shots, because there's so much more that he can do to impact the game.
Billy, I just want to follow up on preseason. This is 9 games for us in 14 days.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
But what you went through. Preseason now is vastly different animal today. Would you like to see it longer, the chance to do more to prevent some of these soft tissue injuries?
Yeah, I really don't know what the answer is. I really don't. I do think guys are trying to, in the off season, maybe adjust their training, to a certain extent to get ready for it. We've been, listen, I think we've played pretty fast this year, and we're not. Maybe we are the fastest team. I don't know. Maybe we're in the top 5, but it's like a very, very small window, of teams that are playing fast, and there's a lot of possessions, and then to your point, the density of games, and it's a lot, like our medical guys, they're tracking how much they're running, how many sprints per game. I mean, I think we had one of our players in like a preseason game that had played over 30 minutes, and he had like 77 sprints. That's a lot, that's a lot, and. They're running over 2.5 miles of sprints, and again, they're professional athletes, right? They gotta get themselves in shape. They have a job to do, it's part of it. But I do think with the density of games and then the volume of pace, you're always going to probably leave yourself open to groins, hamstrings, calves, and it's just going to happen, right? And it's just going to be part of it. But I do think, as guys get their legs under them there, I think their bodies adapt and adjust to what they're doing. And, as I think probably everybody's not like in the best shape they'll be in, but there's kind of like a wall where you guys are like, man, I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm run down. It's a lot of games in a short period. But once you kind of crack that through that wall, I think your body gets adjusted and accustomed to it.
Thanks, Beth.
Okay,